Hello everyone. Let me know if you can see me and if you can also see what I'm seeing right now while we're here on the Dutch countryside. And there is this man over here. Look at this in his little rowing boat with lots and lots and lots of cheeses. He's just coming under me. So just you can hear and see me. I know I'm a little early, but there were already some things happening, so I thought like let's start. Let's start already this tour, and uh, I'm going to show you, of course, a lot more. And yeah, there will be another boat coming, by the way. So this is the third one, and there will even be a fourth one coming. So I was thinking, let's wait before the fourth one, and then I can officially start this tour. So let me also just show you my face for a moment, because I know I'm early. Welcome, welcome everyone in the Netherlands. So it's good to be back, and it's not hi Mark, it's Stefan. But or you mean someone else? Oh yeah, Mark is also here. Oi, hi, and hi Sarah, hi Tish, hi Catherine, hi Sarah, hi. What do you have more? So I think that are the people that I can see right now already, and welcome on a nice summer evening, not too warm, not too cold, and I'm in the small village of Edam, and I'm promising you that when the next rowing boat is coming, then I'm officially starting this tour. So we still have some time before I'm officially starting. And there's enough to see. There's enough to experience in the coming. And hi Lisa, hi Satyam. There's enough to experience in the coming hour, and maybe it's even a little more than an hour, because I don't know exactly all what will happen. But I saw already the preparations over here of the cheese market, and it looked really awesome. So I think you all will have a very typical Dutch evening, or at least a Dutch evening in this little village. Although I'm saying village because there are only living a little over 7,000 people over here, but basically it is a city. So, and I'm just gonna show you a little the other side. One moment. The other side where you can see the typical green Dutch lowlands. That's how big parts of the Netherlands, at least the western part and also the northern parts of the Netherlands, are looking like this. And we see some cows, so you can imagine where is all the why do we make all the cheese over here? That's mainly coming from the cows. And when I'm zooming in, you can see there are several beautiful cows standing over there, but I also want to point out on something else, typical Dutch, because if you're looking a little further at the end over there, I'm just now. Oh yeah, it's little hard because I'm zoomed in now. You can see that it looks like there's a little hill. It's a little higher part in the country, and you see some more cows, by the way. And that higher part in the country, that is not a hill. No, these are the dikes. These are the dikes that are protecting us against the former Southern Sea. So without these dikes, this the country over here, the area over here, would have been just water and lakes and sea and everything. So this is part of the area that is what we're calling the reclaimed lands, or the claimed lands, because the Dutch, it has never been land before. Although no, it's thousands of years ago it has been land, but um, we got it back from the sea. So and Catherine, yeah, you can try the cows. The cows over here, they don't show their heads, as you can see. Oh, what am I doing right now? You can see that they're not showing their head so much, so it's more like the back part of the cows, and it looks like, I don't know, look at their tails. They're really moving their tails a lot. Okay, it is almost sunset also over here. I'm just giving you an idea to go around a little from where I'm standing right now. There is a big church called the Big Church or the Big St. Nicholas Church here at the left side, and over here on the right we have the entrance into the town. And it's a little gloomy day today. Typical days that we can have in August. So I'm hearing the church bells already. So we're almost ready for the cheese market, and I'm seeing at this moment the last boat is coming. So we're now gonna officially start the tour. Hello. We're gonna officially start the tour. Welcome everyone in the little city, I have to say, that is called Edam. In Dutch we say Edam. So, or in English, Edam. Edam. And it's coming originally from the word a or ei. And ei is an old Dutch variation of the French word eau. And for the people that are talking a little French, eau means water. So, water dam. Welcome in Water Dam. And when we're standing over here, around us there are the green fields, the lowlands that are full with mainly cows. So this is the area in the Netherlands where all the dairy is coming from. Though the production of the milk is all from over here. And of course, with milk, we can make a lot of things, like the cheese. And we're now in Edam, and Edam is quite famous for the cheese that they're producing, or not the cheese they're producing, the cheese market. And how did that go in the old times? Every week there was a famous market, and then the farmers, they were coming on their little rowing boats from nearby to bring the cheeses to the market. So like what we see over here, this man, he has several of the round cheeses in his rowing boat. So let's see where we are going with him. So I just have to go to the other side. Here comes the cheese boy. That's true. Let's see where he comes out. He should be somewhere over here. Oh, wait, I just missed him. No, there he comes. There he comes in his little rowing boat. It's amazing to see this. Wow. And as you maybe know, my name is Stefan, by the way. Didn't even show my face yet um, because the action is over here. Well, this man in his little rowing boat with a lot of Edam cheeses is coming directly on his way to the market. And for the people who have been doing virtual tours with me a little longer before, oh, he's even waving at us. Um, then you know that I'm grown up in another cheese city, the city of Gouda, city of Gouda. So I'm quite from the cheeses. So what we see over here is that he is going over this small canal. He's going over this small canal, and then at the end, that is where the market is. So he's basically rowing to the middle part of the city or the little village, and that is where we have the cheese market. So we're now gonna follow him. So maybe just do that at this side because there's still some time. There's still some time when this man is going there, because I also want to show you a little of this village. As you can see, they have beautiful lights on the side. So I think if we come back over here in about an hour, then it's even more magical with the lights on both sides of the canals, the beautiful water, but it's also really a typical Dutch little town. So I'm gonna take you. And while we're walking over here, I also want to show you something else that I found out. And to be honest, I haven't been that many times in Edam, although it is only 20 kilometers away from Amsterdam. So it is quite nearby. Um, but I haven't been here that many times because there are so many beautiful little villages. But when I came here, what I found out is over here. Look at the other side. We still have time because the cheese market itself will start a little later. But I found this tiny little courtyard with beautiful flowers everywhere. Very calm and relaxed. A Dutch uh, little paradise, I would almost say. And And this is a place where in the old times, this is was originally from the 17th century. And in the 17th century, this was the place where the city of Edam was placing people that didn't have money. So what you in England, you have the almshouses. This is basically the Dutch version of the almshouses. And it has been in use until the 1970s. So, and what was the system of these houses is if you didn't have enough money, if you were very poor, then the city was giving you one of these little places, one of these little houses, and you could stay there. Sometimes later on you had to pay a little, but then you had to pay for life, and then just at the end of your life, then someone else was getting the house. So it was never your own property, and it worked like this until the 1970s. So it is really beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. I think it's really beautiful. So just giving you an idea, and you can see there are apple trees, pear trees, and it's a very calm area to live. And here on the side of the building, hello, here on the side of the building, you can see the name. It's called het Proveniershuis. And it's saying gesticht, that means started in MDLV. And I don't know if you're all really good in these numbers, these Latin numbers, but the M is always standing for 1000. D is 500, so 1000 plus 500 is 1500. Then the L is 50, and the V is 5. So it is basically 1555 when this Proveniershuis was started. So since that time, the poor people were placed in places like this. So no, and it was until 1970s public housing, and after that time, it is like what you have in a lot more places in the Netherlands, that they are renting it out right now. So it is not completely the same as it was before anymore. And in the meantime, we're coming more nearby the market. Also want to show you a little how beautiful it is over here. So on canal, this canal is, by the way, called the Brewery Canal, the Brouwersgracht in Dutch. So uh, where now all the cheese was coming. You see there are four rowing boats laying there on the side. Four rowing boats full of these typical Edam round cheeses. So, and then of course later on, they have to make sure that the cheese, oh, be careful, man, he's climbing out, don't fall. He is wearing, look at that, he's wearing even his wooden shoes. Very typical Dutch. And then a little further there, we see a lot of people standing. And you can maybe imagine that is the entrance to the cheese market. So that's where we're going to. And I'm gonna take you a little around. So we will see this later on. There's still enough time. I just want to show you a little the beauty of this little town while I'm walking here. Hallo, dankjewel. Ik heb zelf wat meegenomen. Now, some Dutch people are talking to me. I will later tell you what they were where they were talking about. But basically, these are locals, and they just they're sitting over here on this little bench with some wine. They have the best places. Most probably, they've seen this a million times. They've seen this a million times, and oh yeah, there's also a very tiny car, the very Italian Fiat, the Fiat 500. This is so. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'm thinking, like maybe if I ever have a car, then it would be something like this. I don't need bigger. I just for myself, this cute little one. So, Italian car, Fiat 500. This is. I don't know a lot about cars, but that model I know. Okay, I'm just gonna walk you a little more through town and welcome people that are just joining. You didn't miss a lot yet, so we just saw the start. I started a little earlier because I wanted to show how the first vessels, first rowing boats were coming inside the city with the cheeses. We will see them later again, only not rowing anymore, but then they're getting the cheese off. So, but we're now getting through this. Yeah, we're in the city center already. That's the interesting thing. And it's so very calm and relaxed. We will now get in an area with a lot of more people. So when we're getting over this drawbridge over here, and look how cute the canal over here still is. Wow, this is a Dutch little city. This is how it looks. So, and then with the beautiful church there at the back, Our Beloved Lady. Is it called? I will take you a little later over there, but I first want to take you over here. And then, of course, let me just show you my face for a moment. So, because today, it is the day of the cheese market. So, I'm prepared for that. Hello and welcome in Edam. That's why people were already looking at me like, what is that guy doing over there with that thing on his head? So I have a piece of cheese on my head. So I don't know if this is the Edam, but this is my clothing for today. I think later on it will be a little too warm for it, but I think it's at least a nice way. My name is Stefan, by the way, guide in the Netherlands and in Belgium, and today in Edam. That is where I am today, and I'm now coming very nearby the central cheese market. So I'm just, and I'm not from Wisconsin, Barbara. No, I'm from the city of Gouda, or that's where I was growing up, and I'm now in Edam. So both Dutch cheese cities. So here you go. Let me show you. We're now on a little market over here on the square. I'm just going around a little so we have less people. And by the way, this is the street where we are right now. You can see it is Bierkade. That means the beer cave. You like my hat? Yes, very good. So, and we're coming more nearby, and also I just want to show you, like, these are people just basically living next to the central cheese market. And this is, by the way, one of the oldest cheese markets that you can find in the Netherlands. And people over here are standing in a row for something else typical Dutch called poffertjes. And poffertjes are the little, just maybe I can come a little more nearby, that are the little pancakes that we see over here. Wait, let me show you over here. It's smelling amazing. It's really good. So, but these little pancakes are made over there at the end. You're eating them with some butter and sugar, like the powdered sugar over here. Oh, you see she's placing some butter on it. Just not a little, lots of butter. The more butter, the better. And then some powdered sugar over it. And then you have the typical Dutch mini pancakes or poffertjes. That's how they call it. And when I'm standing here, it's really smelling delicious. So that is also the reason why so many people are standing over here in front to wait for the poffertjes place. Okay, let's go around. I'm just going to walk a little, and then, okay, we're coming nearby the central square. So of course there's a lot what you can get on this market, like cheese, but also wine and paintings from this area. Later on I will show you a little more of this little city. So, and then we're getting some of the typical Dutch houses. You see, I'm not the only one. When I'm walking around and listening to what I'm hearing, by the way, a lot of locals. So it's also summer holidays in the Netherlands. Wrong side. And here is the central square. We will come more nearby a little later, little later. So I just want to first get to the boats at the end. Oh, look how beautiful it is over here. So I'm just getting towards the entrance of the cheese market. So let's see if we can get a little more nearby. So over here at the end, you see all of these things that we're using to get the cheese. And in the meantime, there's this beautiful carillon playing some music, and everyone is ready here, I think, for the cheese market to start. I think in about 15 minutes from now, they're still quite calm. We see the weighing places. We see some people in traditional clothes. They have the best places over there on the other side, of course. I don't know if you can hear the music of the organ, but it's quite nice. One from 1910, by the way. So, okay, I'm just gonna show you again my face for a moment, and you may be wondering, like, Stefan, why are you walking with a cheese on your head? That's because in the Netherlands, sometimes Dutch people are called cheeseheads, and I know in the US you also have people that are called cheeseheads, but I can say for myself that I'm a real cheesehead because I was growing up in the city of Delft. I studied in the city of Leiden, and both are quite famous for their cheese. So and of course I'm also born and raised in the Netherlands, so I can say for myself that I'm a cheesehead. Or exactly a kaaskop. Kaaskop, Natalie, not a kaashoofd. Kaaskop, that's what we are, kaaskoppen. At least the people in this part of the country. Okay, and I know in Wisconsin, so cheeseheads. So also, of course, an area with a lot of dairy. Okay, and here we see the little, uh, the little rowing boats that are filled with these typical Edam cheeses. And the interesting thing is that if we're coming a little more nearby, then there are two things that are maybe different from what you would expect. Wait, I'm just going under the lights. So when I'm zooming in a little on these cheeses, it's not saying Edam, no, it's saying Beemster. And what does Beemster mean? Beemster is one of the what we call polders, one of the lowland parts um, that are where the cheese is coming from. So Edam or Edam is basically only the place where the market is, but the cheese is produced in the Beemster. And then something else also, if people are talking about Edam outside of the Netherlands, they're always saying like, hey, there are these red round cheeses. No, not completely round, but almost round. And here they are yellow. Yeah, and that is true because originally these cheeses are just yellow. And why then can you find outside of the Netherlands all of these cheeses in a different color? That is because um, to make a difference, I'm just going to show you my eyes again for a moment. Just to make a difference between all the other Dutch cheeses. Most other Dutch cheeses, for example, the Gouda cheese, is yellow. And also the cheese from Leiden is yellow. All the other ones are also yellow. So to be a little different outside of the country, what they decided is like, okay, for uh, for the cheeses that we're exporting outside of the Netherlands, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use not the yellow wax, no, we're gonna use red wax. So that's why all the cheeses nowadays, or the Edam cheeses outside of the Netherlands are all red, but inside the Netherlands it's very hard to find a red one because that's only for export. Where can we buy that hat? I don't know. I don't know. And to be honest, it is quite warm. So I'm already feeling it. I'm getting sweaty a little under. So later on, if you see some sweaty, then the cheese is gonna sweat. So that's also a thing what happens with cheeses. So okay, let me show you again. I love, to be honest, also how it looks all over here. So, and you're hearing a lot of music around me. One is the organ, and the other thing is also the big church here at the end of this canal. And here we see the beautiful canal. It's also making a lot of sound. So the the bells are chiming the whole time. So it's there's a lot of sound around me. And Evelyn, let me tell you the best way to say it. The best way to say this is Edam, Edam kaas. That's how we call it, Edam cheese. Yeah. So not Edam, but Edam. And that's the nice thing is that in Dutch the E is an A and the A is an E. So that's always a little hard when we have to spell things if you are used to talking Dutch. So like okay, oh, this man maybe wants to check his little vessel. So look, he's also wearing, still I love it, Amsterdam clocks. He's using his wooden shoes, the typical wooden shoes, like how we. Oh, kijk uit hoor. Val niet in het water. Ja? Okay, good. Yeah. So and then a little more about this cheese. So I'm assuming that soon the market will really start, and then they will start getting the cheeses from the vessels onto the market. So I'm just coming nearby. This is the first little boat on the side. It's quite nice. And yeah, and where are we? We are 20 kilometers or about 15 miles just north of Amsterdam in a little city. I would almost say it's a village, but no, it's not a village. Is originally a city. Well, it's even a city that's older than Amsterdam. Um, and yeah, we're in a typical Dutch, very typical Dutch city, a little village, a little city, and it is quite famous for its cheese and also for its cheese market. And we're now at the end of the market, waiting before they will start. And it's in the Netherlands. Yeah, it is in the Netherlands. True. Sorry, I forgot to say that. And we're now waiting before they start removing the cheeses from these little rowing boats onto the market. And why are they doing that like that? That is because that is the old way of bringing the cheese to the market. So originally, and we have to go back to the 14th, 15th, 16th century, the farmers around the city of Edam, they were bringing the cheese over the water to the cheese market. So they were then taking them over this little canal and several other canals in rowing boats, like the ones that we see over here. So the second one that we see over here, as by the way, the name is the toekomst, that means the future. So this is really a future version of the old traditional cheese market. So, and yeah, this is I said it already before, this is one of the oldest cheese markets that you can find in the Netherlands. And also Edam itself is already a city since 1230. So the 13th century, 1230, that's when it all started. And since that time, not long after, it got the rights to have a market. And with the rights to have a market, that was when Edam became one of the bigger cities. It's hard to imagine nowadays with 7,000 people living here only, but it became one of the bigger cities at the end of the Middle Ages. So you had Amsterdam with a bigger harbor, you had Hoorn with a bigger harbor, you had Enkhuizen with a bigger harbor, and then the fourth one, that was Edam. So, and yeah, I was already telling you a little about that before. I was telling you already a little about that before, but Edam, in the word, there is a, and a is coming from an old Dutch word, and a or ei that was meaning water, and dam is the or dam is the dam. So what they were doing over here already hundreds of years ago, they were building a dam basically to protect. Oh, there's more cheese coming. Wait. While I'm talking over here, look at this. Of course, not all farmers were coming by ship. Some of them were just taking their carriage. Look how beautiful this is. Also, let's see, do they have some cheese? No, they don't have cheese. Maybe they're the buyers. Maybe they're the buyers of the cheese. So just coming nearby. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Wow. Really majestic, this horse, isn't it? And then we see the church that is making all the sounds at the back, just in front of us. Wow. And I assume that these are the buyers because their carriage is completely empty. So of course the sellers were coming over here, but also the people who wanted to buy a cheese. So, but then, sorry, back to all these or this place called Edam. So water dam. So what they basically were doing, they were building a dam in the river. There was originally a river over here, and they were building a dam to control the water level a little better, because you can maybe imagine it was on the seaside, there was a river over here, and the water levels are going up and down, going up and down, and they had to control it. They had to control it a little. So um, what they did is they were building a dam to have a better control over the water. And it is not the only city in the Netherlands where you have a dam in the name. We have about 70 different cities, and there's so much happening now over here. So I'm just going to show you the next thing. Getting some music. We're getting some music. Look at the girls. They have sneakers already. Yeah, it is the cheese band, to be honest. And you see some other important people coming over here, and some people in the old-fashioned clothes. Wow, this is beautiful, isn't it? Okay, I think the most important people that want to visit the cheese market are now also over here. And at the same time, I think maybe now the horse wants to come inside. The model horse. And then we're also getting a presentation. So they're going to tell us a little more what is going to happen. To be honest, I don't know if that will be also in English. I assume it will be, because there are a lot more tourists over here. Also a lot of local tourists, by the way. Okay, and everyone is getting, I think it's time to start. Yeah, we're here now on the central marketplace. So this is the central place, or one of the central places in the city. But this is basically the cheese market that has been here for hundreds of years already. With a lot of the cheese is already on the market, and we were seeing before some of it will come out of the little vessels. And oh, whoa! Now Oh, they wanna get in. They wanna get in with the horse too. Oh, to be a little careful. Okay, the horse and the carriages are now also coming in. Yeah, this is how it works. Okay, I'm now showing you from over here. I have for later on. I have another location where I can sit a little better, or I can stand a little better for a good view. It's like 20, 30 meters away from here. Okay, we see all the people with the beautiful old clothes. Looking at them, it is a little 19th century, I think. Yeah, end of the 18th, 19th century, and they're welcoming us for coming over here. And I'm now gonna whisper a little because there's a lot of noise. Okay.
Ik heb echt een fantastische avond. Kan ik u echt garanderen. Want we hadden ook extra speciale gasten uit de schermen. Dus
we have a lot of special guests, they're saying. And to be honest, I have a space over here. I had a space over here before, but there's so many people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. Okay.
thank you for coming. Our dear English speaking.
And yes, you saw Catherine was over here already. She was holding my place. So they're even gonna do the same, welcoming us in different languages. So it will be in English, in Dutch, English, French, and most probably also in German. And look, who we have over here too. He even has something red around his neck because of the cheese market. And I will. And this is the woman who is introducing all of us. And it's also, by the way, something that you can find a lot more in the Netherlands. That the people that are presenting this, they're speaking 4 languages fluently. And to be honest, there are a lot of people in the Netherlands that are speaking and Dutch and English and French and German. So, and to be honest, my Dutch and English are good enough to do a tour and a presentation. My German is okay, but my French is not good enough to do a full tour. Oh yeah, and it's really cute to see so many people over here. But not only people, look what we have over here on the side. There's a cute little dog. There's a cute little dog. Really? Oh, oh, she even speaks Italian. Wow. Yeah, that's Oscar's friend. Yeah. Wow, she is really speaking a lot of languages because she's now doing it in Italian also. Yeah, that was an adorable pup too. That's true. Wait, I'm just gonna zoom in a little. I think we have a good place, isn't it? Yeah, it is a good place to sit here. There's a lot to see around. I mean, and there are thousands of people now standing around us, sitting, standing, and everything, just waiting for the start of the market. There's typical Dutch houses here on the market. Oh, and she's now saying, I'm excusing myself that I'm not a normal presenter, but I'm just doing it now and then, and that's why I'm only speaking 4 languages fluent. Just to give you, just to give you an idea, and just to give you an idea, how many people are standing over here to see. They all look, literally from all over the world. Yeah, and all the cheese men that are doing the trade, etc. They are standing there in front of the weighing house. It's a tiny weighing house. They're in the on the that's now in the middle of our view, where they have two different weighing scales. There's also a weighing scale, by the way, outside over here. So that is always has always been the heart of the market. So in whatever Dutch town you're coming, you have almost everywhere a weighing house to weigh the cheese, but also can also be used, of course, for other products. But the one over here is basically only only for the cheese. And hi, Elisabetta, you just missed the Italian part that you were speaking. And they're telling a lot about how old it is already. And what we see right now over here is all like how it used to be. How it used to be. So there's not a real cheese market here anymore like it was in the old days. But they brought it back. They brought it back to have the feeling of. And we're now getting, by the way, the city announcer. And, okay, wait, just gonna zoom in a little. Yeah, so he is the city announcer and he's bringing the news. And he's now basically saying what you can all do in Edam. You can do a canal cruise. There's a fortress which you can visit. So it's basically all for visitors. And and also if you're coming back tomorrow, really gezellig, really cozy, because there will be a singer tomorrow, Dutch singer, and they will be all fishing days in the neighboring city. Maybe we should go also there to show you some more typical Dutch things.
Die konden dingen opnemen. En dan hebben we ook nog de vroeger feestweek. Die is nog heel druk aan de gang. Op het ogenblik.
So I'm just basically saying that in a lot of the neighboring villages and cities, that they have a lot of parties and festivals.
Dat die nog een hele week is er al meer bier uit de naam komen als water. Dus ja, het is
And he's now saying about Broek in Waterland, one of the other little villages. They're saying they have been drinking more beer than water this week because of the festival. Official news from the neighboring cities.
In het dorp matige drinkers. Maar in het Broekenhuis 7 stevige zeupers. Met op enkele plaatsen geheldhouders en limonadedrinkers. In de avond jeneverdampen en alcoholvelden. En voor de komende dag heel grote westen en in de ochtend zware hoofdpijn. Dus dat is het laatste nieuws. Ja. Dus ik wens jullie van deze hele avond hier. Dan gaan we lekker gaan doen hier op de markt. En opstaan helemaal lekker rondje. En gaan we lekker maar als wij maar zijn. Ook een lekker bij zitten.
He's basically saying to all of us, take a good drink. So if you have wine or beer or even a liquor, it's all good. It's all good. Okay.
Doe jullie best en we gaan genieten. Maar goed, voor de... Ja, heel erg, maar Sonnyboy, die krijgt een cadeautje van ons. Kijk eens. Ze staan er voor je klaar. De kaaskoningin en de prinsesjes erbij. Ik geef er een heerlijk cadeautje, maar ik denk dat het een beetje moeilijk voor jou is om nu de bel te luiden. Dus geef je maar weer terug.
Okay, he's gonna use. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. Oh,
Sorry. Goed. Ik zou zeggen.
he is gonna ring the bell. That means officially the cheese market is open now. So these men are now going there to the right. They're gonna get the cheese from the little boats that we were seeing before to bring them on the market. So they're basically coming from the side, from the canal over there, and then bringing the cheese. And then we also have the cheese queens, that are the 2 girls over there, walking on wooden shoes, of course. And Sheila's asking, can anyone buy the cheese? Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of places. Although on this market, they're more doing it like on a traditional way. So over here, not really. But around the cheese market itself, there are a lot of stalls where you can get the Edam cheese. So, and by the way, over here on the right side, you can see there are yellow and some red ones. So the red ones that you hardly see in the Netherlands, only for export, or normally only for export. So we just have to imagine now a little that we are hundreds of years back on the cheese market. And yes, Catherine, it is a little similar to Alkmaar. Alkmaar is one of the others. Yeah, and here we can see a little how this goes. They are throwing. See, oh, that wasn't going very well. Normally they're throwing two cheeses. They're throwing two cheeses, and if you're experienced with that, you can catch both cheeses, as you can see. And I'm getting it on the sledge. Woo, wow. And then imagine that these cheeses, they are about 1.5 kilograms, so about, let's say, 3 to 4 pounds in total. So it is quite heavy to do that. Wow. Wow. And there they're coming. They're coming on the market. And these men, they're having several of these cheeses, so you can imagine that it's quite heavy. So they have a certain, and that is the same as an Alkmaar, they have a certain wall when they are walking with the cheese up to the market. Yes, two at a time. That was quite nice, yeah, for sure. And now we hear the street organ playing again. The street organ, and oh, over here they're making a deal. You see here, someone is buying a cheese, and they are negotiating. They're negotiating with their hands. It's like, okay, I'm just doing a deal. I want this. I want this. No, yeah, I want more. I want less. Of course, the man who is selling it, he wants more. The man who is buying it wants less. So, and then yes, they finally made a deal. They finally made a deal. So most probably he now made a deal. And what they then normally still doing is that he's maybe saying like, okay, I want 20 cheeses, or I want so many kilograms of cheese, and then they're gonna weigh it later on to make sure that they get the good price. So a secret cheese handshake, exactly. Yeah. Now they're looking happy. They're looking happy that they made a deal. So and then after that, he bought something, and then they're getting it and bringing it to the weighing scale. And oh, wait, sir. There they're coming to walk again. It's a very specific way of walking to make sure that the cheeses in the middle are still stable, because you don't want to lose them, of course. So you see, there's a lot happening at the same time. People are buying cheese, selling cheese, throwing the cheeses again. And over here, some new cheese. Yeah, and today it is, of course, I'm doing these tours. You can buy me a coffee, but today is more buy me an Edam cheese. Sorry, I cannot change the URL, but that would be for today. Okay, and then over here, we have another. This man, he wants to buy some more, and he's saying they're like clocks. So he was first doing with a hammer, and he's now opening one of the cheeses to make sure that the inside is also good quality. So he's now opening it with a sort of yeah, how do you call this? You see, there's a piece of cheese now coming out. So, and someone can most probably Now check the quality of the cheese. So you have to check the quality of the cheese, the yellow cheese from the inside. And exactly, it's a corkscrew. Okay. Ah, I'm just unlucky, I think. Yeah. Now he's closing it again to make sure that the rest of the quality of the cheese is still there. And he's listening. So what they're doing is they're listening to the cheese. They are tasting the cheese. They're smelling the cheese. Oh, that's a very fast deal. It's a very fast deal this time. So just yeah. So one of them is, I think, not so good in negotiating. So or maybe the quality was not so good. And then you see there's some other man, and they're still getting more cheese on the market. And if you, of course, if you miss the start of this tour, you can always watch it back later. I'm not gonna remove them. So, so in the coming days, and now you can also see, we were seeing earlier the carriage. So they're now throwing cheeses to get them in onto the carriage. So yeah, wow, this is amazing. Okay, and there they're coming again. There they're coming again on their specific cheese walk that they're doing. It's not walking, it is not running, it's something in between. I think you have something like that on the Olympics too. I don't even know how they call that. Speed walking or so. What is it? Um, but if you're doing speed walking, when you have to carry some of the cheeses, that is a little harder because you have to keep them stable. And Catherine, I love to see some sketches. I'm also want to show you some more. So what I'm gonna do, because this will go on for, I think, 1 more hour, something like that. So what I want to do is I want to show you a little other parts of this city too, and then of course I also want to taste some cheese myself. So we're also gonna do that, but I want a little more calmer area for that. So what I'm gonna do is get my yeah okay get some stuff. Oh wait, just they're gonna play some music while I'm preparing. When I'm preparing, so because before it's completely dark. Okay, just going out now. So it's excuse me. Oh wait. There's some cheese to try. I'm just gonna try already if I can. Thank you. Okay, I have a piece of cheese. So wait, I'm just gonna just a view for a moment. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just getting outside. So I said that later on we're gonna taste. I'm gonna taste some more cheese, but I have already a little piece with a little flag, and I said already before, it is not it's not Edam. This is Beemster. That's lowlands nearby. You have the Schermer and the Beemster next to this little village, and this is the one over here. So while I'm walking away, I'm just gonna um, I'm just gonna taste this one already. Oh, let me see. Oh, it is quite a light cheese. Thank you. It's quite a light cheese. Um, I think the fat percentage for a normal Edam is about 40% fat, and it's not very salty. It's not very salty. So it is. Very smooth and quite nice, to be honest. So, wait, I'm just going through a lot of people here. Okay, just in the final countdown. I was also thinking, like, I don't know what they're playing. It's not really old-fashioned music. So, we're now going over the market. In the meantime, it is. Let me something. Okay, it is starting. It's starting to rain a little, but I want to take you to some of the side streets. Now, the properties you still see, there's still a line over here. But let us go a little to some other parts of Edam. Wait, I'm just going to the side. There's over here a little side street, and the first house. Look on the top. What we have over here on the top, there's a little angel sitting. That's really cute, isn't it? So just on the side of the building. Wow. Okay. And then I'm going into this side street. But the Dutch flag over here. This is a beautiful little alley, as you can see. People are having flowers like geraniums on the side. And it was a beautiful angel, isn't it? But I also want to show you. I mean, we were now on the cheese market, but look how calm and relaxed the rest of this little village is. So it is now the day of the cheese market, but if you're coming here just on a normal day of the week, then there's hardly anyone over here. So this is for me always when people are coming to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is busy. If they really want to see some typical Dutch towns nearby Amsterdam, then Edam is really a nice choice. There are several other villages, but Edam is really a good one. And what a pretty street. Yeah, I know it is. And I don't even know, but look also at these really beautiful flowers here on the side. So it's beyond charming, even. Okay, even beyond charming. Yeah, it is. It's quite nice. That's true. One of these beautiful little alleys. I'm just gonna walk to the end to the church over there. The church with, by the way, the carillon inside. And again, there are cute little streets on the side, but I also want to show you now over here um, the little church over here, or what is left of the church. This is a very interesting one. This is the church of Our Beloved Lady. I mean, you have that almost in every Dutch town, but the one over here is quite interesting because, as you can see, there's a little part missing of this church. There's only uh, there's only a little part left. So basically, only the tower we still have, the tower with the carillon. And by the way, it's almost 9 p.m. So most probably in about 1 minute from now we will hear it. And then you have a little piece of the church left, and the rest is all gone. It's all gone. And why is it all gone? What happened? This church is an old church, and in the 18th century, they decided to remove the biggest part of the church because it was in such a bad condition. So now we only have this little part left, almost nothing, but it is quite an interesting church. So if you're seeing it from this side, then you would almost say like, oh, it's a full church with a tower and everything. But if you're looking closer, then you can see it is basically almost nothing, or almost nothing is left. Okay, I'm just gonna. Oh, and there we are. The chameleon. Nice, isn't it? And then 9 o'clock. As you can see, it's still light. So I think this is also a good place to taste some cheese. So, and I asked Catherine, you saw her already, to help me a little by preparing it. So, and of course, we have to start tasting the typical Edam. So, I have one over here. I have the Edam cheese, and as you can see, it's again a yellow one because in the Netherlands you can basically only get the yellow ones. And you can see over here on the side, it's saying 40 plus kaas, cheese, Edam, and then there's a number. And 40 plus means that when they're made, that 40%, about 40% of the cheese is fat. So 60% is other things, 40% is fat. So that's always when you're having a Dutch cheese, you have a 40 plus, sometimes 30 plus, but this is the standard for the Edam. And this ball is about, I think, what is this one? I don't even know, 1.5 kilograms, I think, something like that. So, and yeah, to taste this, of course, I don't have my screw. How do you, were you calling it? I don't have the drill with me, but I have over here. I don't know what they're thinking about me, that I'm gonna kill someone. No, that's another tour that I'm doing sometimes. But I have to cut them into two pieces. So maybe you can, no, hold this, you can hold this for me. And okay, now Catherine is gonna show maybe. Where's my cheese hat? Maybe I should have my cheese hat when doing this. So I'm just gonna cut the cheese. I have that big knife with me so we can see the inside. Let's see how it looks inside. Okay, there we are. Oh, look at this. The inside is beautiful yellow cheese, and I think already like, oh, and I have my cheese slicer with me, so I can of course get pieces from it. And let's see if it's the same quality I just had on the market. Oh, oh, mm, it's really good. It's really good. To be honest, what they're saying is that the Edam cheese, it's now very famous worldwide. But in the old times, it was basically the Dutch that were using this cheese, and they say that the original ones were a little older than the ones that we see over here. So what you can nowadays buy, also the one over here, is a little a younger cheese. But they say that originally the Edam was a little older when you were eating it, and it was one of the best pieces of food when you were getting on a ship. So imagine in the 17th century, if you had to go from the Netherlands to the other side of the world in one of these Dutch trading ships, then it was one of the best foods to bring because it will stay good for a very long time. With the wax on the side, the paraffin on the side, and then the inside, yes, it's getting older, but it will still be good. And how will it look after, let's say you're going all the way to Indonesia? Oh, sorry, I'm a little hungry. If you go all the way to Indonesia, and then you need food for really several months or even a year, then the Edam cheese is perfect. And then it will look a little like the one over here. So you can see this cheese. This is, by the way, an old Gouda, but it has, in the end, the same procedure. Some very loud people around us. I don't know if you're hearing that, maybe not. So, okay, I'm gonna remove some pieces on the side with my cheese slicer. That's also how you're doing it. So, on the side, remove. Be careful for your fingers. I've done this a million times, but it sometimes goes wrong if you don't have a good cheese slicer. But what you can see with the cheese over here, with the older cheese, you see it's more orange. It's a lot more orange. It's older. It's also more dense. It's a lot more dense. It is also a little saltier, more dense, more saltier, and more mature. A lot more mature than what we see over here. So I'm just gonna try also a little piece of this. So just, yeah, it is salty. It's salty, it's mature. It is really aged cheeses. So you can imagine that you were on the ship and that you are, yeah, eating this. And there are even some myths, and I was telling that to some people. There are even some myths that on these ships, imagine that there were captains and that they were getting into a fight with another ship. You were somewhere, maybe with the English, maybe with the French or the Spaniards, and you had a fight, and then you run out of your cannonballs. Then what to use as an alternative is an Edam cheese. It works almost as good as a cannonball if you are needing one. And to be honest, it is a myth, but you have that amazing program that I was watching when I was younger, Mythbusters, and they tried it one time to see if they could. So you can still find it, by the way, on YouTube. And yes, it could work. So it is a myth. It is a myth, but it can work. You can use an Edam cheese to shoot your enemies. Okay, I think this is enough. I'm just going to take another little piece, and then if you have 10 more minutes with me, then I can show you a little more of Edam. To also see the rest of the city center. Okay, okay. Let's see. Did I get a lot of questions? So I think I got, but thank you, Catherine, of course, for helping. And also, I'm just leaving now pieces of cheese here, heads of cheese and everything. So, but I'm just gonna walk a little further with you through this city. And 20% battery left. Well, that means 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. Okay, I have everything. Okay, good. So, just going outside. It started to rain, by the way, a little. My friend is saying I love Mythbusters. Yeah, so you can still find it on YouTube somewhere if you're searching for Edam cheese cannonball. So, and I think in the end, the Edam cheese was not mature enough. So they choose another cheese in with I think an old Spanish one. It's a long time ago that I was seeing that. And with that one, with that one, it worked. It tore the sail down from a ship. So okay. In the meantime, over here, you see on the market, you can of course get already some bulbs for tulips, for example, and all kind of other flowers. Hello, like hyacinths and everything. So, of course, if you're coming to the Netherlands, you're coming for cheese and tulips, or a lot of people are coming for cheese and tulips. So they have a little market that's going basically all over the city center. And then over here, this is one of the other main canals. This is, by the way, connected with beautiful flowers again. But this is connected. If you're going to the end, it's about 1 kilometer away from here. And then at the end, you will have a water lock that's going to the what used to be the Southern Sea, and nowadays a big lake that we have over here. Okay, and just at the other side, this is one of the most cute views that you can find from this city. So we have the canal over here, and then on the side, look, with the beautiful tower at the back, our beloved lady that we were just listening to. So, wow. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a little more. The interesting thing, by the way, is that a lot of the names over here are similar to the names in Amsterdam. So over here we have the Keizersgracht. So the canal is called the Keizersgracht, the Emperor's Canal, as we also have in Amsterdam. So I see some similarities. And we were earlier on the Brewery Canal, the Brouwersgracht. That's also one that you can find in Amsterdam. And yes, even over here you have a boat tour. It's a very tiny boat, but you can take a boat through this cute little town. And then, yeah, we were on the cheese market. We have over here one of the hotels or the inn, the herberg, the inn, and then here on the other side we have the city hall of Edam. With, by the way, a lot of birds now sitting on the top. As you can maybe see, um, it's a beautiful, really a beautiful city hall from the 18th century. So, by the way, parts of it are part of the place are older, but the part that we see over here right now is from the 18th century. And next to it, you have one of the oldest inns, and nowadays we also have a nice terrace. People are all sitting dry over there, so it's a little different from here because it's now really starting to drip. I'm not getting really wet, but it's just that uh, little rain drips. And then over here, we are over here, and in the middle part, we have this part over here in the middle. You see that there's a sort of an interesting bridge, and to be honest, this used to be the waterlock that was protecting the inland from the sea part. So they were building it over here. This is called the dam. So the dam is built over here, and there was a big waterlock also that was connected to the dam. And a lot of the traders didn't like that so much, by the way, because they didn't want this big dam that there was this waterlock to because it was not helping them with their trade. So, but that was first, and later on they loved it that this was all over here, and all the birds are coming again. There are a lot of birds this evening. Wow. Um, Later on, they were very happy with it because it meant that the city of Edam could start asking more and more toll to get stuff to the other side. So it was in the end positive for the economy of this little city. Wow. And then we're standing over here. And yes, there's murmuration, that's for sure. We're standing in front of one of the oldest houses, and the oldest house made of brick that you can find in the city of Edam. And it is nowadays a museum. But the interesting thing of this place is that it used to be a cheese place. And the interesting thing is that the cheese market here itself, that we were seeing before, who was the person who was allowing the city of Edam to start a cheese market? That was Charles V. Charles V, one of the rulers in Europe, he gave personally the rights to the city of Edam to start selling cheeses. So, and because of that, that was one of the reasons why this became a very powerful city. And we can still see that because the coat of arms of this man is placed over here in the house, or part of it. So if you're looking for the coat of arms of Charles V, then you have these the two heads next to each other, and you can still find it in the stone over here of this old brick house that we have. And this place, by the way, became very famous in the 16th century because what they did is to keep the cheese cool. You don't want sweaty cheese, but to keep the cheese cool, they were making a cellar. They were making a cellar over here that was floating. So the cellar was floating to make sure to keep the cheese cool. So it was quite a nice invention. So, and just let me show you a little on the side. Well, a lot of people over here are eating ice creams. It is a Dutch summer, but it's isn't it? It's a good summer, isn't it? um, But here on the side, we can also see this is the full coat of arms of Charles V. They placed it over here. So you've maybe seen this before. So you have the bird with the two heads. So showing Charles V. That was his coat of arms, and that's what we were also seeing there on the side of the building. And then let me just go to the other side. Woo! Let's see if there. Oh, no more birds now. They're again sitting. They're again sitting. And it is a great place. Yeah, it is really a great place to be over here. And we see all the. Oh, there the birds are coming back again. There are a lot of them this evening. It's hard to get them without making really sudden movements. But I want to show you two more things. I want to show you two more things in this beautiful little town. And the first thing is we see all these birds over here. And all the birds over here, they are sitting on top of one of the most beautiful houses that you can find in this city. And what we see over there, the birds are sitting on top, and it's a little hard to see, but you can maybe see they're sitting now on top of another animal, another bird, and oh, sorry, and that is a swan. So this house over here is called the Swan. And there's something very unique about this house, at least for this town. Look what is under the swan. I'm now having it in my screen because there's a hook. There's a beam and a hook on this house. And to be honest, now you know you've maybe done some tours with me in the city where I'm living right now, the city of Amsterdam. In the city of Amsterdam, you have all these beautiful canal houses and they all have a hook. In other Dutch cities, and I told this several times, you don't have hooks. But here there is one. So this is very interesting. There was a rich man from Amsterdam who bought a house for his son, and his son, the name of his son, or the people were calling his son the Swan, and he was building this house for him with a beautiful swan on top and with also a beam and a hook as he was used in Amsterdam. But to be honest, in this city, it was not normal to have a beam and a hook. So it is basically the only house with a beam and a hook. While all the other houses, you have a lot of more canal houses, but also warehouses. So, for example, over here on the side, we have a lot more birds again. But there are not only birds, also look how beautiful the canal houses are. This is, by the way, another cheese warehouse from the 18th century. But if we're looking at the top, what you see is there is no beam and no hook. So it is basically an Edam house and not an Amsterdam house. So there is really a difference with that. And then the last part, we were starting with a beautiful little garden at the Provenier's house, where, and then I want to end this tour, and we're still in the heart of the city center of Edam. So at the left side, you can see the canal is continuing. And then here on the right side, used to be part of the church. Used to be part of the church gardens. We have these beautiful, beautiful gardens. And now, I think, oh, it's still open. It's still open. It's open until sunset. No, I think it's still light enough to go inside the garden of the Diaconie. So part of the church, very calming and relaxed area. And Pat is asking, like, how was the hook used? Yeah, the question is even if they were using the hook, because that was not normal over here in Amsterdam. So most probably here in Edam. So most probably they were only using the hook just for fashion, not even to use it like what we did with the houses in Amsterdam. And if you want to know more about the hook, then I would recommend you to join some of the tours that I'm doing in Amsterdam, because that's one of the stories. And yeah, it is an amazing little garden here on the side. And when I'm walking over here, I'm really feeling like I'm in the 17th century, isn't it? So this is magical, really magical, really beautiful. Wow. With a little lantern in the middle, and then on the side, I never know how you call these, um, how you call these plants over here. Still have to improve myself in knowing more plants and more flowers, but the ones over here are magic. Look at these. Are these hydrangea too? Okay, okay. Then it's another variation than what I'm used to. So not the purple and pink ones or the blue ones. Wow, but this is amazing, isn't it? Really beautiful. Thank you for giving me several times an answer. So okay, okay. I'm seeing that I'm already doing a tour for 1.5 hours. I think my battery is almost completely empty. So I'm just gonna show you my face for a last moment. I want to thank you for joining me today in the little town of Edam, seeing the cheese market, learning something about the cheese, but also to show a little of this beautiful town. I hope you really enjoyed it. Um, I did at least. So in the meantime, if you want to do a canal cruise over here, then this is the canal cruise. This is the side of the canal cruise. So imagine in Amsterdam you have these big boats with glass on top, but over here you have this. So it's a little different feeling from the big neighboring city. So no, I really want to thank you for joining me today. It was a pleasure to have so many of you live on the cheese market. If you missed the first part, of course, you can watch it back on my YouTube channel. And I'm really grateful for everyone who's leaving a little tip, because that's how I can keep on doing this. So it was a little last minute, but I really enjoyed it to have so many of you. So thank you. And I also want to thank Catherine for helping me today. So she's always a little on the background, but without her, I can do only half of what I'm doing normally. Okay, and now she has been living now several years in the Netherlands, so almost getting a cheese head herself. She loves cheese, and I completely understand that. Thank you again for joining, and I hope to see you again in the coming weeks, because there are a lot more tours to come. Bye bye.